Caribbean Sunshine Food Show with Chef Hasan De Four and Big Papi.
Yes, I am Chef Hasan De Four and welcome to my YouTube channel, Caribbean Sunshine Food. My partner Papi is here and we're ready to go again.
Hello everyone, welcome. As Hassan said, we just want to make sure that if you're new to the channel, you got to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you click on the notifications so you can get notified every time we start a show. Now, we did episode 1, we put it out, we got a lot of love. Thank you very much indeed for that. And we are about to do episode 2. Now, some friends of ours watched episode 1 and said, hey, Olia, we have a thing for you. We go send it. So mytrinishop.com is helping us out today, and this is a care package that we got from mytrinishop.com. That's time for you to open this. By the way, if there's anything that you don't need for today, just get to me.
No, well, I think we will have more episodes going on.
Yeah, but don't worry about that. If there's nothing that you don't need for today, you go get to me.
I hope she sends some cheesies for me, cheesies, cheesies. Let's see what inside I get. I'm excited. Like,
why would she send that cheese on? You can't cook that.
Because I tell her I like snacks in it. Aha! Look at this here.
Ooh, look at the magic.
Look at the magic here. Oh, let's see this. Look at these bad boys here. This is what we call coriander. I want to open it. I'm getting excited. It's like Christmas time, you know. Smell that. Ooh. Papi, smell that. Fresh herbs, man. Like they pick that in Pyramid Mountain in Trinidad, you understand? Yeah. Mabels, this is the kind of seasoning that you would grow up on. In Trinidad, this is a green seasoning that you will find in many homes. A lot of people, they might make their own mix of it, but if you want something ready, you can just run to the shop.
It's always good to have a backup.
Just to let you know, the dish that we're doing is a choker. And this one is called Murtani. We're using the aubergine, tomatoes, okra, hotchkiss bonnet.
In Trinidad, what do they call it, aubergine?
Baigan, these are some of the terms from our Indian ancestors and stuff that are part of our normal Trini, language. Even when we speak about stuff like potato and chickpea, we use chana aloo. Sometimes when I put that on my menus, a lot of people be like, but that's Indian. I'll be like, you're right, because we do have a big Indian influence in our cuisine in Trinidad. So we have that sauce. That is one of the condiments for today. This one here, look at that there. You see it? Coconut chutney.
This is actually a really good brand, mother-in-law. I've used quite a few bits and pieces from them, especially the curry seasoning. One of my favorite brands.
And if you want something fire, look at the name of this.
Nah!
What do you mean, nah? Nah! That is what you call it, You see the name of this thing here?
Listen!
What?
Last week we talked about me not liking pepper. Who's gonna put pepper on their plate? That's called Bamsi Blaster. For those of you that, may not be from the Caribbean, Bamsi is your bam bam, And that go get a blast. I don't want that.
If you want something fiery, because I expect this to have some heat. My Trini shop, or better, this should come with a warning, you understand? Our Hindu festival of Diwali is coming up, and all of these little treats, the kurma and all of these, I have my childhood memories of, enjoying this stuff, and I'm happy that they send.
Quick, finish up the box. You go take the whole show. Take the naughty box. I go use that.
We have, and we have some nice treats. Thank you very much, my Trini shop.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
And they have one for me in there too.
We get through. So thank you very much. I think it's time for us to get this stuff on the cook. Time for me to start the cooking. Again, if you need to order and get some of these stuff to your location, anywhere in Europe, UK, is it worldwide?
I don't think it's worldwide.
Right.
I think that it's definitely UK wide.
All right.
And I think if you're lucky, you can get it in Europe as well, but definitely throughout the UK. mytrinishop.com. very, very reasonable. Some of the stuff that you've seen today, it's exclusive. Pack it all away what you don't need whilst I'm talking. So today, we are going to show you how to make a choker, you know? You could have a tomato choker, a baigan choker, you could have a pumpkin choker too, right?
Pumpkin choker, aloo choker, tomato choker, you understand?
I'm not a massive fan of tomato, but whatever we have today, we're gonna try it, and then I'm gonna explain later on in the show why Diwali is a very special time of the year, and you've got to be kind of respectful. I see a lot of people online that say, yeah, it's Diwali, and I'm having my rum and my curry goat, and that's two things that just don't go with that religious festival. So we're gonna keep it real. We're gonna go back to Trinidad and Tobago. We're gonna do a Diwali dish that you would have in Trinidad and Tobago, and in this segment of the show, no alcohol.
That's
In
right.
the second segment of the show, we go drink.
The Caribbean Sunshine Food Show with Chef Hasan De Four and Big Papi.
Today our dish is Murtani. It's a type of choker. Choker is roasting, grinding, and pounding, you understand? So with the baigan or aubergine.
Stick to the Trini word. Stick to the Trini word. We go put the English words.
Okay,
in the
well, why that's,
subtitles.
you know, we have...
Yeah, we're doing it raw.
I know, but we have people all over and things.
But we're gonna do it like us, and then
you want to tell them what baigan?
Baigan.
All right, this is baigan, yeah? So we're gonna use the baigan. What we do with this baigan, we're gonna infuse it with some garlic, some fresh garlic. I got some here that's peeled already. So you're gonna be taking and you're just cutting incision into there. You can do it on the both sides. And then you're gonna stick a few cloves of the garlic inside there. Watch it. Just get them inside. When this is roasting, yeah, when this is roasting, it's gonna infuse and those flavors with that char, and you know, it's just gonna make, it's gonna be a marriage in heaven. So we're gonna get some in on the other side. So again,
How many cloves do you put in there?
I'm gonna get in about 3 or 4, you understand? So it's just to infuse that flavor. So we're gonna, with this recipe, I'm using 2 aubergines. I'm gonna use about 3 tomatoes, 4 okras, and yes, the bad boy again. Your best friend is here.
Bad boy. Scotch bonnet.
We're gonna
Fire,
put this, you know,
fire.
and I'm roasting it, so I'm putting more fire in the fire. You understand? You will, it will be a
I
nice
don't think I'm
flavor.
that hungry today.
So now it's time for the roasting. As I said, I'm doing this one open flame. So I'm gonna take my baigan, I'm gonna get that on. And with the fire, you don't want it too high, yeah? You want a nice, medium fire. Then I'm gonna get my tomatoes on. The okras next, and my favorite friend here, Mr. Scotch Bonnet.
How long do you have that on the fire for?
So what we're going to be doing, you're going to, as we see, it's different sizes of vegetables. So the aubergine is going to take a little longer than the tomatoes, and so it's just you observing. So until each side of the vegetables are roasted. With the aubergine, it's gonna get limp. It's gonna get a little softer. You will know when it's cooked. But you want to get that char and that roasting because that element adds a lot of flavor into the dish, you know. So this process is going on here. You can see it's already starting to. If I could give you some of that smell, you would know what's going on here already, you understand?
Let me ask you, what are your memories of Diwali back in Trinidad?
Well, Diwali was something I used to look forward to so much because I get to eat bus up shot, roti, until my belly, you know. I have, because in class I'll have my Hindu friends and stuff who, they are full and, you know, they're celebrating, you know, the whole festival and going to their homes and just, you know, indulging. They bring out that fig leaf and you're eating, you know, and as we say, you're dirty in your hand, you're dirty your fingers, you know. I used to leave happy pappy, you understand? And it's also, you know, you learn about the Festival of Light and what it means. So it's not just about the part where obviously you're happy with eating the food, but these religious festivals that, you know, like Diwali and Eid and the others that we celebrate in Trinidad, it gives us a broader sense of understanding the different cultures that we have in our beautiful Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. So, you see what's going on here? Look at the bad boy. You see him? Watch him. You see? Tomatoes going on, you see? So I'm gonna turn these now a little bit. Don't try this at home with your fingers. This is with years and years of experience and being bird and stuff. So you can use your tongues when you're doing this turning on the fire and stuff. But I'm gonna leave these to continue to roast and get to the point that I'm gonna take it to the next level of grinding and pounding. But we will need something to accompany this, and one of the best things we have is a type of roti in Trinidad that we call Sada Roti. You know, that would just be used to mop up this Murtani choker, and I'm going to show you how to do that next. So let's go and get that Sada Roti mix going on. Caribbean sunshine food, and it's time for us to make some Sada Roti. So Sada Roti is a type of roti that you know, we have with choker and all of these tal curries and stuff. Easy, straightforward. I'm going in with 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, about half a teaspoon of salt into that mix. You know, you're just gonna get that. And again, if you having a lot more people around, just double up the recipe. It's very simple, just to, you know, increase and feed for the masses. So into that, some nice lukewarm water. You're gonna make a well in the middle, and then bring that dough together. Bring all of that flour together. So with the flour, once we have the flour kneaded into a dough, we're gonna allow it to rest for about 30 minutes. You understand? So it's all come together. You see all of the flour, all of the dry flour, and even this, it's come away from the end. Yeah, I got a nice soft dough. Gonna knead this a bit to develop the gluten in it, and then you're just gonna get a nice damp cloth and cover this and leave this to the side of the room, nice warm place, and then it's gonna be ready for us to roll into those Sada Rotis in a bit. If you watch, the tomatoes are lovely and ready. My friend here, bad boy Scotch bonnet, roasted, so he's gonna add a lot more character to that dish in the end. And we have here the okra, those have been roasted, and the aubergine are just near perfect. As you see, before how firm and plump it was, now we have the baigan, it's perfectly roasted with those slivers of garlic inside of it. Just add that nice perfume into the aubergine. And next phase is for us to clean this up and get ready for the pounding and grinding. So yeah, we're gonna clean up now. We're gonna clean up these tomatoes. So it's all about taking off that excess burnt part. You understand? Because you don't want that to, you know, take away from the full taste. So you want a bit of it in, but not all of it. So you see most of it out, get that in, and you just repeat it with the next tomato.
Is Diwali the only time that you would make this?
No, you see this food here, especially when we go by the riverside and you're getting ready. Sometimes, you know, they might have the duck on the fire cooking and all of the other meats and stuff, but this is something that could be prepared quickly, and you know, you'll be drinking, you have a few in, you need something to, what they do at the riverside though, this is something that you wouldn't really like, is that for each okra we'll put a pepper. Hey, what should be like that for? Because remember, as I say, you're drinking, so when you're drinking, you want to ensure you get that, you know, you want to get that element to
smell good though. It smells
to help
good.
to help take away from the alcohol, you know, the alcohol. So the best thing that they use is the pepper. So again, you know, we're gonna make sure, sorry, I got a little too much here. Get all of that off. That's in there. My roasted Scotch bonnet, that's gonna take off. So this now is gonna add that even a nicer flavor to the you know, the spice element that we add in. So that's your pepper in there with the okras. What I'm gonna do with that, I'm gonna take off the top and the tail. And then we're gonna just roughly, let's chop that there. Get that in there. I'm gonna clean up these. So with cleaning up the aubergine, you're gonna take care, cut down the middle. Gonna open them up. And this flesh here, you're just gonna be scraping that off. Let me drop in that inside of there. So you can imagine the kind of flavor from that roasting that the flesh of this bygone has taken up, you know. It's similar to when they do the baba ganoush, you know, in other world cuisines. It's that roasting that really adds that extra flavor to the dish. So you're gonna get all of that flesh out there. Remember, we have the garlic. Now look at that garlic, it's soft. Watch at it. It's roasted and it's nice and soft. So it's gonna, you know, imagine, think about all of those flavors that we added in. So you're just gonna finish clean up that. Try and get as much of the flesh without taking the burnt dark parts in. And this, you repeat it with the second one. So you get that one, Papi. You see how to do it. You could repeat this.
Look good, and it's you know, when you watch cooking programs, you know, and you see the chefs and they go, oh, and the smell is so beautiful. But when you're here, you know, and I'm not a big fan of vegetable, as people know, the smell coming from that bowl at the moment is very, very enticing, very enticing. Apart from the tomato, it's very enticing. I'm gonna try a bit.
So the next phase of this dish is the pounding. So you can have a mortar, pestle, you understand, but I'm using here Bilna, what you call a rolling pin, and I'm just going to get so as I said, it's very simple. 3 phases. We've roasted, now we're pounding. You understand? Roasting, grinding, pounding. That is the choker. And if you now, you know, it's just getting all of those vegetables incorporated. That roasted tomato. So we're nearly there. All we have to do now, as we say, I'm gonna do a little chunky to finish this dish. So I'm gonna heat some oil with a little garlic infused in it. I'm gonna add some sliced onions, some nice fresh sliced onion to this. And then very simple, we're gonna season it with our salt and pepper. We have we have a Scotch bonnet, so you wouldn't really need any, you know, heightening of the pepper flavor, but that's it. So if you see here, nice, lovely. So we're just gonna be finishing up this Murtani. So we have the roasted bygone, roasted tomatoes, roasted okra, and the roasted Scotch bonnet. To that, I'm just gonna slightly dice some onion. So with that, it's gonna add a next texture, because we've had the roasted stuff in here. It's gonna have that nice fresh crunch of the onion coming through it.
That's one day.
Yeah.
One episode, you gotta teach me the chopping. I have to learn how to use a knife like that, because when I cut onions, it don't look like that. I could tell you that. One big like a cube, one small.
That is another session. We could have a whole class for that, you understand? But I'm sure I will get you up to par. You will get that skill. You want to be able to get nice and fine. So we're adding that into our mix. Next, I'm gonna get some salt. I'm adding 1 teaspoon. I'm gonna check the taste and flavor in a little bit. So the next phase of this, I have some oil it's gonna be heated up with a little bit of garlic in it, and then I'm gonna be just pouring this over the mixture of our onions, fresh onions, the roasted aubergine or baigan as we call it in Trinidad, okra, tomato, and the scotch bonnet. We're nearly there, my guys. So our Murtani is ready to go. In this oil here, some cloves of garlic infused until it starts to get brown. That adds a really authentic flavor. That now is gonna go into this. I'm just gonna mix that up. A little more. And easy like that, we have our lovely Murtani. Now it's time to make those Sada Rotis that we're gonna mop this up with. A little bit of flour onto the board. Gonna get your flour. I'm gonna separate this into 4 pieces. Now each one of these I'm gonna make into a round ball. She folded it back into the middle. Again, so tucking in. So you see it? So just can repeat that until you have your 4 Sada doughs ready. So at this phase, you can let it, allow it to rest again before we cook it on our tawa. And get a rolling pin ready. So to get that circle, keep turning it. Turn again. So in this dough, this is a very simple roti dough. Flour, bit of baking powder, and salt, nothing else. Make sure you have a floured surface. It helps the dough from sticking. And make sure, again, your rolling pin has some flour on it also. Gonna push that out. Doesn't have to be perfect circle, but until you get that kind of circular shape, and then we'll be ready for cooking on our tawa. So we're gonna get that on our tawa. So with the cooking of these Sada Rotis, again, we haven't added any any oil. So with these Sada Rotis, again, it doesn't have to be the full size of the tawa, you understand? We just, no oil has, like normally when you're doing dal puris and other rotis, you might put a little oil on the tawa. This, none of that, we're just gonna go to a nice low medium fire, and we're gonna allow these Sada Rotis to cook out.
Welcome back to Caribbean Sunshine Foods. Today, in part one, it's all been all about Diwali. You know, Chef Hasan's made a choker. He's made some Sada Roti. I have a very special guest. Throughout the course of our series, we want to try and bring some people that are involved in our community, that are doing good things for the culture, you know? And David Kalloo is one of those people. David, just tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Well, as Martin said, my name is David Kalloo. I immigrated to England in 1989, and for different reasons, I had a set career formed in my head, but when I got here, it didn't materialize. I got introduced to carnival very early in my life, and I got immersed into carnival culture, and as Trinidadians, carnival is part of our culture. So I started becoming involved in carnival a lot, and then carnival took me into a different road. Rather than being a participant of carnival, I started studying the history of carnival, and through the history of carnival, it took me into a love that I had in me from a very young age, which was writing, and I kind of steered away from the history of carnival and started concentrating on writing. My first book I wrote was on crime in Trinidad. It's an academic book, so it's not really something that people just pick up and read, but I think people should read it, should get a copy and read it. But
What's the name of that book?
It's a crime epidemic in Trinidad.
All right.
It's a long title,
Okay.
but basically it's about crime in Trinidad and what's affecting crime in Trinidad and stuff like that. My first novel, which is ironic because your first show last week was about Green Mango Chow,
Yeah.
and my first book is called Green Mango Chow.
Well, look at that. Should I be here with that book?
What was it?
Yeah. He did message me about that.
And the book is basically about a woman who, because she lost her husband, everything in her life was all about community now. It was about the market making a mango chow, and it's an intricate sort of story. It involves politics, history, and something that we do in Trinidad as a pastime. Mango available, we make a chow.
Make a chow, of course.
Yeah. So that and bring me to my new book, which is Jumbie in Town. Jumbie in Town is basically about my childhood looking for jumbies. And for those who don't know, jumbies is like ghost stories, folklore. And from a young age, I totally dispelled that they didn't exist, and I went in search of them.
In this book?
To make sure that
you find any?
You have to read the book.
I like that.
You have to read
David,
the book.
Choker and Sada Roti, what does that mean to you?
Well, when Hassan was making this, I was sitting there just thinking of my mum, and I would just get a kataas from going out to look for these jumbies, and she would be making tomato choker and Sada Roti on a fireside. Yeah. And it just brought back. It was so nostalgic to see you making this.
Yeah.
So it just brought back a lot of memories. And probably my next book might be called, Tomato Choker.
The choker.
Yeah. We want royalties for that.
Yeah. Let's small thing. We go take that, you know.
Yeah.
King.
Yeah.
But it's time for me
Play
to
it up.
Time for me to eat, because you come here with this nice book that we're gonna ensure that the readers know how to get it. You understand?
Yes.
And our viewers, we're not gonna know.
David,
so we
welcome to Pappy's Hideaway.
Thank you very much.
A little bit. This is our base rum, you know. This is the one that we are gonna talk about other rums, but this is our
So
base rum.
nice
Enjoy some cane rock.
Murtani.
Infused with some natural flavors.
Thank you.
Some great spices. Tell me what you can taste in it.
Well, I can tell you one thing, Martin. You made a big mistake here by putting ice in it.
It's simple like that. Agree to just
Say that again?
You made a big mistake by putting ice into this rum.
Oh, you didn't want
Change
ice.
the flavor of the rum.
I can
For
get
me.
rid of the ice now. Give me that. If you don't want ice, you don't want ice. I don't drink with ice. Anything you want at Pappy's Hideaway, you could get, not true?
True that,
True.
sir.
There you go, sir. Straight.
So,
That is the way it should be drunk. This is what we said
Definitely.
last week.
Yes.
Cheers. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank
So I'm
you.
just gonna
And we talked
use-
about Ian Burrell last week, about getting all your rum tips.
You did a lot of research, didn't you?
No, I do a lot of...
Look at you with the sprinkle thing.
No, we have to use the thing. Look at the smell. We had to vibes it up.
Right,
So
I like
very
it.
simple, very, just as you would get it at home. It I know, we ain't trying to make it look
there's
no
no-
fancy. It's about
It's
eating
not about,
and
it's not about
indulging.
fancy.
No.
I'll give you a little story if I can take 2 minutes. I went to Trinidad one year and a friend of mine says, I've got to take you to this restaurant. It's really good. It's a really good food. And I got there and they were serving things that we ate as leftover the next day as a gourmet meal.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, it's like ground provisions that you had on Sunday.
Yeah.
They're fried up with tomato and saltfish and all that.
Uh-huh.
And it was served as a gourmet meal. And I thought,
Yeah. I like that. I like
yeah.
that.
So what we're gonna do now with this here is to add some extra spices and condiments that we were happy to receive from the man afraid this one, Why you afraid this one? You see the name of this one? You see the name of that?
David, you got taste pepper called Bamsi Blaster? See, look, watch it. My Trini shop, I feel my Trini shop just set us up,
Nah.
She's like, let me send this to Martin and Hassan and see what's going on.
I think the people ordering that, you will taste it and let me know where it's going.
No. You eat it and you go tell them.
So,
Right, so what we add in here?
I just add in some little condiments. So we have here a nice coconut chutney. I'm gonna add a little bit of that. We have a lovely seasoning here. I'm gonna add a little element of that onto the dish. Because with adding condiments, it's your personal flavor profile.
Yes.
Like if you don't like it hot, you don't add the Bamsi Blaster. But if you want some of it, I feel Kalloo.
Nobody ain't blasting
Kalloo
that.
gonna try
No
some of
way.
that.
give
You're
it a
trying it, man. We wanna try it.
Trying it?
Yeah, man. We try a little bit, man. We gotta try it. We
Go
gotta
brave, papi,
shake,
go brave.
shake it up, papi. Shake it up. Shake it up.
That reminds me, I gotta go somewhere. You do your thing. I'm coming back.
the thing is, I'm not a pepper person as such, but I don't mind it.
Yeah.
If it's there, I'll have it. But if you give me a choice,
Yeah.
pepper or no pepper, I'll always go no pepper.
So there we have it. Nice,
Yeah.
simple, easy. Our Murtani, which is roasted bygone tomato okros, and the Scotch bonnet. We have our Sada Roti ready, and the next part
David,
of this,
go in.
don't be shy. You understand? The next
in.
part of this, you break up your little sada, you grab up your little choker.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna taste that pepper first.
You see this man going in for the Bamsi thing?
Ooh. How it is?
It's a fire.
If fiery.
It's fiery. Let me taste it too. I.
You gonna tell me if I don't set me up, Nah, meant it. No.
Nice bite.
Nope. I saw your eyes.
Bring me more eyes.
Nope. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
It's got really nice flavor. The pepper. You should try it, Martin. That's a touch.
Simple ingredients, packed with a lot of flavors, and this is what we're going to be bringing to you with our Caribbean sunshine food cooking.
Guys, we've almost come to the end of episode 2. We want to say thank you very much indeed for watching. Don't forget, if you're a newcomer, subscribe, hit the notification button. You're getting it right. I like that. I like that. David, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Check out the book. Also, find David on social media. You know what I mean? He does a lot of great stuff for the culture. Just find him and follow him. You'll learn a lot. So it's been a pleasure having you here. I'm not kicking you out. You can stick around. I'm gonna do a very, very simple drink today. Not a cocktail. Not every time do you need to, get the old shaker out and all of that kind of thing. Sometimes you just want to pour a nice simple drink. This is a recommendation for you, yeah? We're with the cane rock again. Pour yourself a nice glass. If you've got ice in your glass, I would tend to say to you, unless you're a guzzler, don't put too much ice in your glass, you know what I mean? Otherwise it will melt and it will weaken your drink, which is probably why David said that he didn't want ice in his drink. Angostura Chill. You saw us take out the sorrel version. This is the lime version, and for those of you that remember Lemon, Lime and Bitters, LLB, this is a rebrand. It's a beautiful, beautiful chaser. It's very, very simple, and you don't want too much in there. I've got 2 presents for you.
For me?
Yeah. That's your first one.
It's my birthday. This year, I love lemon, lime and bitters, and that with the spice content of this rum, I think it's going to be a nice marriage.
Next present.
Now he's supposed to be coming here. It's my look at all you watch me now. Watch me now, eh? You see that? What do you think? I'm selling these, or you could subscribe, and if you want to buy and support, you understand? A good cause, but thank you very much, Papi.
Respect, man.
Love in the house, love in the house.
Love in the house. It's time for Chef Hasan to close the show.
I'm Chef Hasan. Thanks for watching. Until next time, love in the house.
You want to know where we coming from? Say you want come look for me, yeah. If you're willing to have some fun, I could keep you company. Move that way, come girl, plunder right by me. Squeeze that tight, make it trip down there. Neighbor, oh, yes, you kindly. Miss Jolie, know your mango sweet, so true.